I'll be demoing the new synchronization features that are going into iTest with the 4.0 release. In this video, I'll be describing the lock action and what you can do with it. So, what we see sometimes with users of iTest, they'll be running multi-threaded test cases, and they'll sometimes come across really bizarre failures. So if they run the test, they'll sit there and they'll get things like, your session is already open, or they'll try to do an action on a session that's already closed, even though when we look at either of these procedures by themselves, we'll see that these procedures should work perfectly by themselves. But when you mix the effects of another thread working at the same time, you can get some very odd outcomes. Now, in this case, it's pretty clear to see what's going on. Since they're both using the same session ID, they're trying to open the same session, and then once this session closes down here, this session is already closed while trying to work with it. But what if you were working through a test case that had procedure calls nested 10, 12 levels deep, all working in different threads? It'd be a nightmare to catch things like this. So, one thing that we've added in 4.0 is we've added the lock action. Now, the lock may be better known as a mutually exclusive area, or a mutex, or a semaphore. But what the lock does is it protects a certain region of code so that only one thread can access it at a time. In this case, the S1 lock protects any section of code marked by its lock so that only a single thread can access it at a time. Thus, we know that these opens with the command and sleeps and close will all occur together without any other threads being able to access them. So in this case, where we were getting bizarre errors before, we see that these sessions are opening correctly and the commands are going through. Now, there are other uses for locks beyond just protecting sessions and making sure all of that is safe. In general, a good reason to use locks is when you have particular areas of code that all need to execute together without interference from different threads. You can lock it and ensure that no other thread can acquire that lock while it has it.